The super important piece of this is that there is an experiential learning cycle that happens in the play. So actually, if students are just playing, there are wonderful benefits. There's joy, there's oxytocin, there's dopamine, there are fun experiences that kids have, but it's actually layering on reflection. So as you're playing an activity, where there is a challenge, where those feelings of frustration or those stories that you tell yourself come up, the idea is that we pause and we say, what did you notice? So, how are we doing? Great, not so great. A lot of times in challenge, the first time that we try to challenge it, we're not doing so great. So, we're giving kids an anchor. They're like, ugh, we're not figuring it out right now. Why not? What happened? And that's where you start to build this self awareness. You learn the stories, you learn your reactions. So, well, when Sarah said that to me, I took it personally and then I didn't want to play anymore. And so it's that first part is reflect. What happened? Okay. Are there any other times this happens? Oh, actually, abstract conceptualization. When people say things to me in these different circumstances, I often take it that way. That is a reaction I often have. And so now you're starting to learn patterns. This is what just happens in this game. Oh, wow, that happens in other places too. Now, what can we do differently? And we're all in this together. The only way we're successful is if we all if we all solve it together. So we're all motivated to work together. Well, I can ask you what you meant by that. I can, I can tell you how it felt when I heard something. We can uh agree to put all the ideas out there without any judgment for our first round. So there are all different things that you can do. And by coming up with that strategy and those ideas, now you're crossing your arms the other way. You're trying something different. You're changing from that static, constant behavior to try something new. And watch when you do this, you have success. So the whole goal of the activities and the goal of the facilitator is to create an opportunity of success. And now that becomes a part of your limbic system, layered into your world is that, wait, I had an experience where someone said something to me and I didn't take it personally, or I asked them a question, or we created a process of we're all going to name ideas and no one is going to judge them that will work in other situations. And that is the deep understanding or reasoning why this experiential approach, um how the play helps kids become invested and engaged, and how the reflection helps them build self-awareness and new tools and new experiences that they can do things that they didn't know they could.
And then it helps them connect and grow.
And through challenge, exactly. Yep. So the experiential learning cycle is a play and then reflect what happened during this activity, connect. How does what happened connect with other times when this happens? So when there's
Oh, okay.
competition, how do we react? Like, oh, wait, well, there was competition here. I shut down, I got frustrated, or I started taking over. Um, and then the grow is, what did we learn? So, how did we solve the problem? Y'all did it. How did you do it? And holding on to that. And you can take that grow and use it so that's where the transfer can happen. We did this in this activity. Now, how can we not take things personally at recess or, in at the cafeteria in different places? And that's the full cycle behind the experiential social emotional learning theory.
Wow. So, and all ages can do this. What?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So the way that I got involved in this was when I was getting my master's in social work. I attended a conference called the Association for Experiential Education. I was trained by some of the best facilitators in the world, in my opinion. Some were professors at the University of Michigan, where I was getting my MSW. And for me as an educator, every year I went back to this conference. I started finding the workshops that were happening locally. And that was how I learned actually tons about myself, who I am, why I am,
Mhm.
and the activities that I brought into the schools and learning spaces that I worked in. So through Kikori, we build this experiential social emotional learning into our training. It's a really important part of our the initial training, the quarterly celebrations, everything that we do involves play and reflection, and helping people create these metaphors to learn about themselves. And then, of course, yeah, it's amazing for K-12, university. We see K to 99, pre-K to 99.
So when you're talking about trainings, what do you mean the trainings? The
Yeah,
quarter.
so we work together with schools. And when we work together with schools, we aren't just handing a box of curriculum. We are really using these activities to help educators experience what these activities are, how they create community connections, belonging amongst the staff themselves. And then they're able to use the activities in a much more meaningful way with their students.
Okay, so you're actually training the educators that are going to use it with the students. Cool.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And
They
so it's
see.
that similar, it's that holistic goal. Um, there are a lot of programs where teachers are kind of just given a thing and expected to use it and understand it. And when it's not relevant, when it's not meaningful, when it's not like integrated, it just doesn't have the same effect for the educators or the students.